Welcome to the show. Brand new week. I love it. Look, guys, the montage to my show has such a jiggy sound. So whenever we're about to come online, I'm just jigging with it because it's an amazing week for you to go out there and do some fantastic stuff. Welcome to MX Conversations. Today, we talk influencing, influencer, money, online, getting rich, all of those things, the type of things that I know you like and the type of things that I like. So you don't want to miss that. Along the show, I'm bringing you two of the finest people to talk to you about that. Of course, our motivational video of the week at the end would give you some vim and vigor for your week, so you do not want to also miss that. But let's kick off with our tech trends conversation for the week. Now, the one that has dominated headlines, and I'm sure that it will continue to dominate headlines, is the movie Coming to America 2. Now, the reason why it became such a big conversation, especially in Africa, well, first of all, I need to tell you, if you don't know, just to give you a background, Eddie Murphy, produced, directed, starred, all of that in the first Coming to America. And this was probably about 30 years ago. And guys, when I was watching the part two, I'm like, we have a long way to go as a continent and as a people. Because if you look at the quality of production 30 years ago and the quality of, and that's one of the conversations that were happening online. But they decided after 30 years, 3 decades, to come up with a part two, and they decided to go big and kaboom. So what was making the whole Africa talk? Well, in that movie, the part two, it was a star-studded movie filled with people like Gladys Knight, Trevor Noah, Eddie Murphy himself, all types of people. Rick Ross was in there. That's my favorite part of the movie. If you've not seen it, you want to go catch it. But Davido from Nigeria was a featured artist who actually performed at a party in the movie, and he had like a whole 2-3 minute slot of performing a whole song where the person who was hosting the party in the movie picked up the microphone and said, "Give it up for Davido," and everybody clapped for him. And this was like a star-studded room of super Hollywood stars, super rich millionaire people. And the movie itself and the amount of grossing power it would have, and the number of people who have already seen it and seeing that an African artist was featured in there, literally dominated the headlines for the week, and everybody sending him praise. Of course, the usual comparison between who is the biggest, Davido and Wizkid, and people drag Burna Boy into it. It's always like that on socials, especially on Twitter. But at the end of the day, everybody was excited about that particular thing. We have an African right in the middle of such a big historic move in the movie industry. So congratulations, Davido and your team. You've been doing amazing. We're proud of you. We wish more of this will happen for more of our African talents, and they will be able to do more. Of course, the other thing that was dominating, like I said, even though it's tech trends, I really bring to you what dominates the headlines. So I know there have been a lot of updates on new devices and all of that, and I'll bring that to you next week. In fact, next week I might actually bring you a product review that you will love, and a product that you probably will want to jump in. But the second thing that everybody was talking about online was their vaccination. So it's been in Ghana, it's in Nigeria, it's in different countries. People have already taken it. Some of them are saying we will all turn zombie by June, July. So some people have no intention of going for it. But what do you think about this vaccine? A lot of conversations going on, conspiracy theories. Is it real? Is it not? Some people are saying it's the 666 that you've taken into your body. Some are saying it will let your body radiate to 5G and all of that. But it is dominating headlines, and it is something that I would love to hear your thoughts about. And that will be dominating news in our Tech Trends segment for the week. I'm back after this commercial break, and we jump into the real conversation. Stick and stay. So welcome from that commercial break. Now, this conversation is one that I have been waiting for because it is one that it's an industry that I personally have worked in. And of course, one of the things that I speak about in a lot of my innovation talks is the fact that there are a lot of jobs that exist today that did not exist about 15 years ago. One of them is influencers or influencing, brand influencing. And to have a conversation about it, for anybody who's interested in becoming an influencer, how much money is there to be made? How do you become an influencer? I've brought two of the best in that game to have this conversation with me, all the way from Abuja, Nigeria. Even though he's a Lasgidi boy, he's a Lagos boy. He's one of those Banana Island type of people. One of the finest minds that I know exist in entertainment and in the tech space. He's my brother, all the way from actually Lagos, Nigeria, but right now he's in Abuja, Nigeria. One of the finest minds I know when it comes to entertainment. He still runs Made Men Music. He brought up the likes of Inyanya, Techno, fantastic person in the influencer space, tech space. He's personally a brother to me. I'm also, of course, schooling him in my FIFA academy, every now and then 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. So, all the way from Abuja, Nigeria, Ubi Franklin joins us on MX Conversations. All right, so from Accra, Ghana, of course, joining me for the conversation is one of the fastest rising influencers in the game. I've personally had the opportunity to work with her, and she's absolutely fantastic. Quite a bit of a following on Instagram and TikTok and across board. So, of course, we'll dive into it. Joining us from Accra, Ghana is Kezia. All right, so welcome, guys, to the show. Ubi, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm great.
How's Abuja now?
We're chilling. You see, we're just trying to hustle. We're between government, personal work, influencing, tech, and all of that.
Yeah.
So we have to happen.
Oh, I missed that city. I need to come back. I need to come back.
Please.
Guy. Kezia, how's everything? You guys are making a lot of money in this lockdown. You look and feel like money, even from where you're sitting. How have you been, Kezia?
I've actually been good, and yes, the lockdown has helped a great deal in the influencing job. I think people are getting to understand the use of influencers for marketing brands and all of that. It actually there was a good side to this whole lockdown for influencers, especially.
All right, fantastic. Now, let's go straight into the conversation because I know there's a lot of things that people want to know. Let me start with you, Ubi, because you've been here long enough. Let's talk about just the industry of influencing and where it came from, right? Because before, we knew about celebrity endorsements. Where did this come from? And what are the opportunities in this space? Let's talk a little about that, Ubi.
All right. Looking at how social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and the likes, Facebook, right?
Yeah.
People started creating content, right?
Yeah.
You create content, you laugh, We started seeing all of those things. And when we're pushing music, we always call most of these funny guys on social media to say, a song to make a skit so that it reaches more people because in Africa, we love humor.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just. So we try to push that. So after a while, for someone like me, looking at the amount of money I was paying these people, I didn't really care. But the pandemic actually drew my attention like a great to what these people were making because I did a lot during the pandemic, like with the talks to be frank, a show on Instagram.
Yeah.
And trust me, it made me some great amount of money.
We will talk about that. We will talk about that money. We will.
Yeah. So looking at the influencer space is a market on its own. When I go to brands now, you know what they tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, we think signing an artist or an actor will give us the kind of mileage we want to because they are going to charge so much.
Yeah.
So what they do is 4 or 5 influencers that have 2 million followers each. That's 10 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And pay them some money and say, create skits for me,
Yeah.
and then it reaches their expected audience.
Mm.
So if the influencer market now is in the same position as an artist that goes to a show to perform.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like an upcoming, so every content you create is like a hit song for you that
Yes.
renews you into, and people are really much interested in working with a lot of influencers these days.
Fantastic. So let me get back to you, Kezia. And I think one of the questions that are on everybody's mind, or it's on everybody's mind, is how do you get started? Are you really, truly making money? And is this something that you can do on the long term? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so to get started, I'd say you could just basically be posting about brands, not brands you work with, but brands you use. You get it? So it could be products from Nivea creams that you've used and all of that, and give reviews. And then people will start engaging in it. And then it should be honest reviews so that you'd win the trust of your audience.
Yeah.
You get it? And then that's when brands will start noticing you. So I'd always say this: invest in what you believe in, or in the work you want to do.
Yeah.
So the investment is you buying products and trying them out and tagging the brands to create awareness.
That is from the
for
beginning.
both the brands in your audience, and then that way, that's from the beginning. That way, you pull in interested brands to work with you.
Wow.
You understand?
Fantastic.
So and the way forward, like, I feel like influencing does bring a lot of money. That's if you know your worth, because there are other influencers that wouldn't really charge much. It's with everything. The music industry, there are a lot of people who wouldn't charge much and others that would charge much. But if you know your worth, you charge what you are worth and you make a lot of money out of it. Because in a month, you could be having deals with more than 2-3 brands. You get it? So it's multiple sources of income from different brands.
Yeah.
So it's actually a good thing.
So it is something you can do full time. So is this something you can do full time?
Yes, it's something you can do full time. At the moment, that's what I'm doing full time.
Wow. So Ubi, let me come back to you because I know there's a difference in markets, the Ghanaian market, the Nigerian market, the South African market, Kenya, etc., etc. I know that Nigeria is very, very ripe in terms of the influencer market. How does somebody start? And my next question will be, at which number of followers can you consider yourself an influencer?
Okay, so I think if you have very catchy content, content that is different. So 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a guy that started posting very funny content on Instagram, and he started when he had like 400 followers. Right now, that guy is about 67 or 70,000 followers. Now, he was creating content that nobody was seeing online. So if you're an influencer and you're creating content, it has to be original content. It has to be something that people look at you and view those content. Now, if your content is interesting, people like us will pick it up from your page and post it and tag you. Give you credit. You know, we are your content, it helps it travel. Okay, so for someone who's I'm just getting to find an Instagram right now. If I see interesting content on our Instagram, that's nice. I'll pick it up and post it. And once I post it, you see, she'll start getting the following, she'll start getting the attention, and things will happen for. So the most important thing is creating original content. Once you create original content, your followers will grow, because every day on Instagram we're looking for something that will make us laugh. We're looking for something that we can learn from, something that we can use as part of our job daily to create another stream of income. Right, for us. So for me, very, very important, you need to have original content. If you like just open your Instagram yesterday. If you have original content, people will forward that to as many people as possible. You know, when you post an interesting content and you check the insight, you find out that 10,000 people have forwarded it to other people. Content. You see, people have also put it on their Insta stories. They help you promote it. So original content equates, right, more mileage for your brand.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, Kezia, what are some of the challenges that people will face? Let's look at those of you who are already established as influencers, and then let's look at those who are starting. So when you were beginning, what were some of the challenges? And now that you're sort of arrived, because you're almost at 100K now, Ubi is almost at like 1 million followers. What are some, and I'll let both of you answer it. Let me start with you, Kezia. Challenges in the beginning and challenges where you are now.
So I'd say the challenges in the beginning are is getting paid the amount you want to get paid.
Yeah.
And obviously brands will take advantage of the fact that you're a beginner and say, oh, I'm just giving you products for free.
Yeah.
And no pay at the end of it all. You get it. So those are the challenges. And another challenge would be getting brands to work with because you're a beginner. So obviously if you approach brands, they might be skeptical about working with you and rather work with someone who's already experienced and has a lot of following than you, the beginner.
Absolutely.
So those are the challenges facing in the beginning.
Okay.
Now getting into it, the challenges would be or are them choosing other influencers who would charge less than you would. You get it?
Okay.
Some would prefer to go in for the cheaper influencer than you, the influencer who's charging much
a certain
more,
amount.
because you know the content. Pardon?
A certain amount.
Yes, because you know the content she puts out there is really good, but maybe with the other influencers that are taking cheaper amounts, they wouldn't really put in much into the content they risk put out there. But at the end of the day, because of the money, they rather go in for the influencer with a lesser charge.
Okay.
So those are the challenges.
Fantastic. Now, I will come back to you, KZ. I might have lost you on video, so please check that for me. Ubi, what would you say to anybody who wants to get into this game? How should they get in practically? I have contacted you. Ubi, you have 800,000 followers. I want to be an influencer like you. I have 200 followers. I have no idea what I want to do. How do I begin? And how do I sustain myself? Because I know in the beginning it can be very, very painful when you post and you have 2 likes and 4 likes. So how do I begin and walk into this?
One, consistency. Creating original, right?
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that make you see, a lot of people get into jobs that they are not called to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because other people are doing it. So if your calling, if your destiny, right, is this, and you put in work, you see, let me the difference between a person that is called to do a job and the person that they want to just do it because they want to make money is consistency. Right? Now, so if you check my Instagram page, it's not like a blog. So I post different stuff, government, comedy and all of that. So there are days where I'll post a content and I'll get like 2,000 comments. There are days where I'll post a content and I'll get like 40 comments. And then so if it makes you, so that thing can kill your vibe, you can kill your push. So all you need to do is consistency. Like in the last 2 months, I was shadow banned, like people were not seeing my post.
Yeah.
In the last 1 week, if you check my Instagram, people are seeing my post everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will change. I've come to understand that Instagram and algorithms are like being in a relationship where you are always having issues with your boyfriend and your boyfriend. So you need to understand and deal with emotions. So if you can deal with emotions in a relationship, you can deal with emotions
on Instagram with the algorithm.
Because Instagram will always mess up with how many comments you have, and all of that. Content that if you don't post immediately, somebody else will post for you.
Yeah.
So if your content comes first, it helps get more traction.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is consistency. Don't care about whether one person or 2 people. As far as there's someone that's liked that post, I'm sure there are people like him or her that are interested in that post, and somebody will forward it to somebody. Like when it goes that way, you start getting a lot of followership and all. So it's 2 things: be original and be consistent.
Fantastic.
And you get there.
Before I let you or move to Kezia, what is the biggest? Don't mention the full amount: 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. What's the biggest amount you have seen in say a month of influencing?
In a month, $120,000.
Woo! Okay, Kezia, let me come to you. There's a difference between.
Don't ask me.
There's a difference between Ghana and Nigeria.
Don't let me shame Ghana. Don't let me shame Ghana, please.
but just whether it is 4 figures or 5 figures, just hint me. What is the biggest amount you have seen? Just don't call it, because I know it won't match $120,000. But what's the biggest amount you've seen in a month from influencers? Is it 4 figures, 5 figures, or 6 figures?
I think it'll be 3 figures.
3 figures in a month.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go as a country.
Wait, in a month. Wait, let me just say. Hold on. Let me say. It should be, let's say, close to $1,000 in a month.
Okay, so that's 4 figures. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's 4 figures. I mean, it's not 6 figures, it's 4 figures, so it's fine. Now, what would be also your final words to somebody who wants to come into this space? How did they begin? And by the way, I'll let us touch on this before I let you guys go. The backlash and all of those trolls and people who come and insult you on the page, people who feel entitled to talk about, everything. How do you also deal with that? And then we can wrap this up.
Okay. So yeah, and my advice to anyone who's trying to go into influencing is you have to have a tough skin, and you'd have to about how sometimes engagements are high engagements and sometimes you get low engagement. That thing can be really depressing.
Yeah.
It can really mess with your emotions and all of that. Like, can put me, for instance, I've been a week or 3 max down, been so down on my lowest, feeling like a failure and all of that, because I just wasn't getting the engagement I was expecting to get from content I was putting out there. So yeah, you'd have to have a tough skin, and you'd have to know that there are ups and downs in this business, and it's not always going to be what's called like a happy thing ending or whatever. Like, there are ups and downs to it, so you just have to have a tough skin and know that this is what you're going in for. That sometimes it won't be all bright. You'd have problems or issues coming along the influencing thing.
Okay, now let me talk to you, Ubi, and take this from you finally as we wrap up this conversation. How do you deal with all the trolls and all the people who come onto your page and say all types of things? And what would be your final word to anybody watching you who wants to be an influencer?
All right, so let me start with the people that want to be influencers. First, I just think you should find original content, be consistent, learn how to manage your emotional quota. Once you do that, you're a great influencer, because days that things will not happen well for you. There are days that you post content that people will not agree with you. So it's just a little bit of both. And there are days people are going to be trying to hack your Instagram. Many things are going to happen to you, but the most important thing is stay consistent, get original content. And for those that you see, you cannot change people, right? People are people, and those are the people that actually make it somewhat more popular. Because if there are arguments on your page, okay, today I posted something on my page saying, if you're a lady and you own a company and your husband is out of job, will you step down as the CEO of the company for your husband to take over? Yes or no, and why? Why did I post that thing? Was just for conversations. Let's hear, because I've been hearing a lot of crazy stories how men bully their wives out of companies and do a lot of stuff. So I just wanted to get people's opinion so that somebody who is going through that might get some. But you know what? I'm on all the blogs in Nigeria.
It's actually gone viral. It's gone viral on Twitter. I just saw it before I came.
A lot of people just see things and it triggers them a different way, especially women, because of the whole feminism thing that's going on. So you have to know the things to avoid. So if you attack me, it's 24 hours. The next day we'll continue with live and keep it going. So that's what I've learned in this space. So for me, it's an interesting space. You need to know how to manage yourself, understand how to manage your emotions and all of that, and the rest is history.
All right, so thank you so very much for joining me. Ubi joining me from Abuja, of course. Kezia is joining me from Accra, Ghana. Of course, I'll get your handles running on the screen so that people can jump in. And I know that you're going to be able to help them set themselves up as influencers. I'll talk to you guys, of course, after the show, and you will teach me how to become an influencer as well. All right, and so with that, we go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, we wrap up, but I will have that motivational video of the week for you, and you will love what I have for you this week. Stick and stay. I'm back after the commercial break. All right, welcome back. Of course, I always hate to go. I always tell you guys I never want to go. I want to stay here and talk to you. Now, of course, you can always be a part of this conversation. If there's any specific thing you would love for us to talk about, whenever you join, whenever you're watching, just drop the comments across our social media at MX24GH, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you are, we are there. We're, of course, on YouTube as well. So whatever you want us to talk about, I have experts from all over the world who will join me here to give you the answers you're looking for right here on MX Conversations. Before I go, you know that I need to leave you with some vim and vigor for your week, because life can have ups and it can have downs. So regardless and irrespective of what happens, you need to keep your head up. Motivational video of the week to close the show. I'll be back same time next week on MS Conversation with something that will blow your mind. Shalom, peace, cheers, guys.
Challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow.
What they don't understand is that even when you are expecting something good to happen, it costs you something. And when you keep wanting something that keeps evading you, if you're not careful, it will wear you down. To wait for something, anticipating it, and it doesn't happen, costs you more than somebody who wants nothing. That's why we have so many people who fall into the abyss of wanting absolutely nothing, because sometimes it is easier not to want anything than it is to want it and not get it. Some people find it easier to just give up and lay dead and just let things happen the way they happen. They are perpetually and inevitably victims of circumstances. They've allowed themselves to be typecast into a perpetual role of nothingness. I may not have it, but I want it. I may not be there, but I want to. It may not be in my hand, but I'm snatching after it. I may not have apprehended, but I'm in the press. I may not climb the mountain, but I'll die with dirt in between my fingernails, because I will never lay there and accept where I came from to be where I'm going.
I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You should have quit 10 years ago. You should have quit 10 years ago when he walked out on you. You should have been quit. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skills. It's about steps.